So going into kind of the sectors now that we are fighting in the fitna here, especially in North America, in regards to deobandis. It's been told that deobandis are probably the most violent type, not physically violent, but they're the ones who can brainwash a lot of our people very quickly in their words and the way that they do their actions and bring people to the masjid, so on and so forth. What are some of the beliefs that deobandis have which are against Ahulussunnah wal Jama'ah?
I would like to ask you this question: what are those beliefs which are not against the belief of Ahulussunnah wal Jama'ah of Deobandis? Because they have written so much against the beliefs of Ahulussunnah. Now, our audience should know how this Deobandism began.
Right.
You know, Ibn Abdul Wahhab Najdi, when he wrote the book Kitabut Tawheed, the name is the book of Tawheed, but in reality, it is not about the Tawheed. It is to go against the excellences bestowed by Allah upon His beloveds, to His messengers, to His friends, the awliya. It is talking against those. And he also have mentioned, if you refer to the book Kitabut Tawheed, in the beginning part, it is mentioned that Ibn Abdul Wahhab Najdi was such a great scholar that he did jihad against all those who are polytheist, mushriks, and all those who do not adhere to his beliefs.
Right.
So if you reject the belief of Ibn Abdul Wahhab Najdi, according to him, killing you is permissible. Right. It's an act of reward. Now, this is where the extremism started.
Right.
So Wahhabis are termed as extremists for the reason that those who do not adhere to their belief, they say that killing them is permissible. And this is the reason they killed the scholars of Ottomans at that time.
Right.
They killed those people. They killed the scholars where? Inside the Masjidun Nabawi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they did so much of massacre there. So this is because their belief is that all the Muslims who believe in Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be physically alive after leaving this world, after tasting the death. We do not deny tasting of the death. Right. After tasting of the death, to believe that they are physically alive, Allah has bestowed them the powers. They say this is polytheism. You are committing shirk. For this reason, they say killing you is permissible. So Ibn Abdul Wahhab Najdi's Kitabut Tawheed was further translated and summarized with explanation by Ismail Dehelvi of India.
Right.
Of Delhi. So he wrote a book, Taqwiyatul Iman, which is actually an explanation and a translation of Kitabut Tawheed. So all the followers of Deobandis, they take Ismail Dehelvi as their leaders.
Okay.
So Taqwiyatul Iman is such a book. I would like to mention this to the audience because I have the books with me. I have the screenshots also with me.
Right.
And it's widely available, nothing to hide.
Right.
It's published already. Taqwiyatul Iman, in that Ismail Dehelvi says that any prophet of Allah, any angel, anyone more dearer or nearer to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala does not carry even a status of a shoemaker in the sight of Allah Ta'ala. Now, according to them, the status of a shoemaker is greater than of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, greater than the angels. This is written, that anyone dearer or nearer to Allah does not carry a status of even a shoemaker. And also he wrote there that ek zarre nachis, they do not even possess a value of even a particle, talking about the prophets of Allah. And he also said that he should be called as a leader, Sayyid, but in terms that you must regard him as a leader of a village, like a postman. Now, these are the statuses they give to Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Deobandis, the leaders such as Rashid Ahmad Gangohi, Ashraf Ali Thanvi, Qasim Nanotwi, Khalil Ahmad Ambedkar, they all praised and they all refer to the teachings of Ismail Dehelvi.
Right.
Okay, now Taqwiyatul Iman, about that book, if you refer to Fatawa Rashidiyya of Rashid Ahmad Gangohi, he says that this is such a book which is eradicating bid'ah, innovations, whereas it is the initiation of the innovations.
Right.
It itself is an innovation to talk such about the excellence of the prophets of Allah. Rashid Ahmad Gangohi says that every home should have that book Taqwiyatul Iman, which is eradication of innovations, and it is an act of reward to keep this book in your homes. This is mentioned by Rashid Ahmad Gangohi in Fatawa Rashidiyya. Now, the belief of Rashid Ahmad Gangohi, you refer to Fatawa Rashidiyya, he says that Allah is able to tell lies and Allah can also go against His promise. And they come up with the verse of the Quran, Inna Allaha ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is able to do whatever He wills, so He can tell a lie also. But they do not try to understand the reality that Allah's qudrat doesn't consist with those which has deficits, the things which has no excellences, because all the qualities of Allah are exalted. So the thing which has deficiencies, it doesn't have that capacity to be under the qudrat of Allah. If you say this because Allah is able to do whatever He wills, He can tell a lie, then a person can say he can marry but he won't marry. He can do this but he won't do that. He can theft but he won't. He can steal but he won't steal that. Making fun of Allah.
Right.
So Allah's qualities are exalted, are free from fallacies. So you can't connect those things which are regarded by a common person even that telling a lie is a wrong thing.
Right.
You are attributing that towards Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala.
Right.
And similarly, he wrote in his book that the term Rahmatul lil Alamin is not specific for Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whereas in the Quran, Allah specifically used this term for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. So by justifying his statements, Khalil Ahmad Ambedkar, in his Barahin Qatiyah, he says what Rashid Ahmad Gangohi wrote about Allah is able to lie is nothing wrong. There's nothing new. The scholars, the early scholars also had this agreement. They also had this discussion that Allah is able to lie, but he has never mentioned any name of this scholar. Right. If we say that this is the belief of Ahulussunnah, we say Imam Suyuti has written this, Imam Subuki has written this, Imam Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dehelvi has said this, Imam Azam has said this. We give the quotations, we give the reference. But he has not given the reference. He said many scholars were agreeing in this that Allah is able to lie. And he also wrote there that this should not be spoken in the public.
Right.
So now the one who believes about Allah that he is able to tell a lie, how can we be united with those people?
Right.
And with regards to Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the same Barahin Qatiyah by Khalil Ahmad Ambedkar, he says the knowledge of shaitan is superior than of the knowledge of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he further says that if you try to prove the knowledge of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the Quran, you are committing shirk. That is, you are associating partners with Allah. But at the same time, he says the knowledge of the shaitan is proven from the Quran. So shirk is to associate. So why are you associating shaitan with of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala?
Right.
If he says that not shirk, it is haram or something else, then it's a different story. Though we can prove that this is not shirk, neither haram, neither bidah, but Allah has mentioned the excellence of His Habib. Allah has mentioned about the knowledge of His Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Holy Quran.
Right.
But what he says is, it is shirk to prove the knowledge of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but shaitan's knowledge is proven. That means they equate shaitan with Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So these types of beliefs are written. And Qasim Nanotwi, who is the founder of the Darul Ulum Deoband, he clearly says that all the prophets of Allah, they are superior than the ummah only in knowledge.
Right.
With regards to the actions, then sometimes an ummati can be equal to a Nabi and sometimes can surpass Nabi in actions. Now they should ponder on this fact that our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that a person, a non-Sahabi, if he contributes gold equivalent to the Mount Uhud, how huge is Mount Uhud?
Of course.
So a gold equivalent to this, not a kilo or 2 kilos,
Right.
it's tons, millions of tons.
Yes.
A gold equivalent to Mount of Uhud, if it's contributed by a non-Sahabi and a Sahabi contributes wheat one or half of his hand,
Right.
that cannot be equated to that. So the gold contributed in form of mountain
Right.
can't be compared with of a small wheat given by a Sahabi of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So none can be equal to the action of a Sahabi. How can they surpass the action of the prophets of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala? But they try to give such way in such a manner that people think, no, they have not done anything wrong. They try to justify those statements. Now justifying the statements is a clear evidence that they believe this statement is wrong. That is why they justify. They believe these are wrong. So now what we say is, if you believe these are wrong, why do you publish? Right. So in the new editions, what they did is, they have changed some terms. For example, Ismail Dehelvi wrote in his book that Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself said that one day I will die and I will be mixed with the sand. This is not in the hadith.
Right.
But they have attributed as a hadith there.
Right.
And they have attributed for Imam Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dehelvi also. It's a lie there. He didn't mention that. So they have attributed to him and said that our Nabi himself said. Now when the scholars like Ala Hazrat Imam Ahulussunnah, Maulana Shah Ahmad Raza Khan, and the scholars of Haramain Sharifan of that time, that the Sunni ulama, when they opposed this, what they did is they edited those terms. Now editing the terms itself is an evidence that they are wrong.
Right.
So what they should do is, they should simply say, our scholars, what they did is wrong, we do not believe in that. Now what happens is, they show their hypocrisy, they say, no, what they said, they meant in this manner, they meant in that manner. Now our question is, you believe that prophets of Allah doesn't possess the knowledge of the unseen. How did you get the knowledge of the unseen for you to say their intention was clear? How do you know after 150 years that their intentions were clear? How did you get this? When you deny the knowledge of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from where did you get this knowledge? Who gave you this ilham? So simply, if if you are publishing their books, that means you believe them to be greater scholars. And a person who had such corrupt beliefs, if you take them as greater scholars, how can we be unite with you? So what we say, I always give this message, okay, let us keep the scholars of this era or the previous era aside for the sake of argument. They say you believe in Imam Ahmad Raza's teachings, which is in accordance with the Quran and Hadith.
Right.
Nothing wrong. It's all totally in Quran and Hadith. If they refer to Fatawa Razawiya Sharif, they will have to agree for this. But they don't want to refer because they want to blame Ala Hazrat Imam Ahulussunnah and the other scholars. So what we say is, okay, for the sake of argument, we keep the teachings of Ala Hazrat aside. You keep the teachings of Ismail Dehelvi, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Abdul Wahab Najdi, Ashraf Ali Thanwi. You keep their teachings aside. Let us follow the teachings of Imam Ghazali. Let us follow the teachings of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, Sayyidina Khaja Mu'inuddin Chishti, Data Ganj Baksh Ali Hijwari, Sayyidina Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti, the scholars of 1000 years, 900 years, 1100 years, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi. Let us unite with them. So when their beliefs are same, automatically you will have to follow their beliefs. Now this is the beliefs given by Ala Hazrat and our scholars.
100%.
But if they say, no, we don't want to take your scholars, then we also don't want to take your scholars. Let us forget all this and we'll go to the teachings of the past predecessors. Very simple. They won't agree for that. Why? This is the hypocrisy. They knew they did wrong, but they want to follow those people. So therefore, we can't be united with such people who has this adamant thoughts.
Right. MashaAllah. I mean, beautifully explained by Hazrat. And in such easy ways of understanding, Hazrat, you know, it's common sense if we understand the deen and understand what they are saying about, for example, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.